Hi there, welcome to Mini Math Lessons with Karen. Today we're taking a slightly different approach. I don't actually have a lesson to share. I'm simply going to be giving you some ideas of how you could use the fxCG500, which is a CAS graphing calculator from Casio, how you could use it to do some discovery around linear relationships. We'll be exploring a lot more with this calculator later. But for now, I just wanted to show you some simple things from it. So what you see in front of me right now is the actual calculator. This is the emulator version, but this is what the calculator looks like. It's a little bigger than the normal calculators because it's such a powerful, it's basically a mini computer. And it does amazing things. And I'm using the emulator, but if you had the calculator, you can use your finger, it's a touch screen, or you can use it comes with a stylus if you want. If you have the CG400, the CG500 is the same calculator, the difference being there is no QWERTY keyboard, so that the CG500 is allowed on the standardized tests because of the keyboard change. So as with any graphing calculator from Casio, it's menu oriented. So here's the initial menu of the CG500. And if I click here, either with my finger, my stylus, in this case, my mouse, because I'm on the computer, you see all the other programs. So I'm just going to go back. And we're going to just touch just a little bit in some of these things. I'm thinking about linear relationships, so I'm just going to give you some ideas. Before I do that, I wanted to talk about the emulator, though. The emulators are being offered free right now. I mean, they've extended the 90-day trial till the end of August. So I would suggest getting this. It's a powerful tool and it's a lot of fun to play with. So right now I have it in what they call fixed mode, but I could, if I right click on this and I'm in my emulator, I can go to the resizable mode. I just wanted to show you the difference. Because I'm on the computer, I can work in a much bigger screen. So I can, and by resizable, that means that this window, I can change the window and it doesn't look like the calculator anymore because it's just basically math software. All the menu items are there, and if I went into one of them, let's just say graph table, I just have a lot more visualization space than if I am on the calculator, right? So there's this, all the functionality is the same. I just have a window that I can resize. And if I needed the keyboard, I can actually move it around to where I need it to be. So a couple different ways you can kind of view it. If you're on the computer, this would be nice. But if you're working with students and they have the handheld, personally, I kind of like to work in the fixed mode where it looks like the calculators that the students have as well. So I don't want the keyboard. All right, that's what I wanted to get back to. All right, so I wanted to show you a couple different things. So I've entered a parent function here, and if you look up here, it's icon based, lots of menus. So this is literally a computer in the handheld. So it's drop down menus. You'll see right here. So I want the graph. So I'm graphing this function that I selected and it's in blue. And so this is a parent function, right? So that's a nice, what is a parent function? What's the slope? We can explore that. What I wanted to show you is some really neat features. We have them in the other graphing calculators, but in this one, it's just really quick and easy. So in this second function, I have graphed, let me go back here. Instead of a 1, I'm using a coefficient. So actually, let's use m, because that's what we like to do. And then my x here. And so now when I hit execute, I've entered it. And now I'm going to use this. So here's graph. And now this is dynamic. And this will create a dynamic of that coefficient. So remember, the blue is the parent function. And so now basically I'm thinking about transformations of the parent function. And I can move this up here so it's kind of out of my way. So right now my coefficient m, which represents our slope, is going from -10 to 10. If I wanted to change that, I can easily go into my settings and have it step by something other than 1. Like we could do, let's do decimals here. I could just have a different start value. I can change the max and the min. So we're just going to say, okay, that's it for now. But now I can click this and see what's happening. Wow, as my slope gets larger, larger positive number, my line is getting steeper compared to the original parent function. And if I go towards the, and I can actually grab this, I think, negative, it goes in a different direction. So there's, and obviously I would probably want to change my range, but this is a really quick way to explore transformations of functions. And I could even then, let's add in a different function here. Let's do x plus the intercept, we tend to call that b, and hit execute. And now I'm going to do a dynamic graph of that one. And so it's currently where b has a value of 1. How does that compare to this function? Could I make it match the original parent function? What's the value? Oh, it lands on it when the value of b is 0. So then we start making these connections. So you can really do some great explorations right away, very simply and very quickly, helping students understand what those coefficients do. And you can do different forms of the equation as well. So now I'm going to click back into my menu. And so notice again, this is all touch screen. And I want to go into a picture plot just to show you how easy it is now to bring in a real world situation. So if I go up here, I don't have a picture at this point, and I want, actually I'm up here, I want to open a new picture, and you'll see that we have, open a picture. So I have some options here, so I'm going to go into picture, and this is kind of like movie files. It's really several pictures that make it look like a movie, but I'm going to go into static pictures, so I'm going to open that, and we have lots of options of things that I can put in, and I'm trying to make some real world connections to students. You know, how do we do a line of fit, those types of things. And so if you're interested in what a picture, you're not sure if it's going to fit your situation, you can click on it and hit this view right here and see. And this one looks nice to me because I can make several different lines that maybe intersect. Maybe I'm talking about systems. So I'm going to say, okay, that's the picture I want. I want you to open it. And here is now a picture that I can work with. And in this picture plot mode, I can very easily, so I know that we do this on the CG50, and you have to move your point right here, but this is nice because again, it's basically a computer. When I click the point tool, I just can choose a place and move my mouse, or if I have my stylus or my finger, and just click where I want that point to be placed. So I am just following this line of my teepee here. Now we're going to say it's that one right there. And so I've created some points, and I could do other lines as well. I'm just showing you briefly some things. And so then I go into this table view. So I've plotted 6 points here. When I hit the table, here are those 6 points. And then I could, if you look up here, I'm in the table mode now. It's asking me, do I want to go back? So I went back, and now I want to actually do a regression. So that's what this is. So here's a linear regression. So we were doing mx plus c. I could mx, so this is ax plus b. So there's my regression. And I'm okay with that. And then do I want to copy the formula? And I'm going to say, right now it's off, but I can say, yes, I want it. And I want you to put it into this position. So, okay. So now notice what happens. It graphed the regression for me. And when I go into the equations, there is that, and so we are looking at this. So let's close this out. Let's go back to our, so that's just other things you can do. There's lots of things you can do, but here's a table. So we're basically thinking about multiple representations. So we've got this table, we've got these plotted points. I could use the linear regression model, or I could actually have students calculate out, pick some points that they think make that line, find the slope themselves, do the point slope intercept, or however the point slope, not intercept, just the point slope form, or I could do the slope intercept form, kind of doesn't matter. So there's lots of ways you can do it thinking about multiple representations. So I just wanted to give you a brief overview of this and some ideas of things you can do. We're going to explore the CG500 a lot more. That was a really brief introduction. So have fun. I would suggest downloading the emulator. It's free for 90 days. It's extended right now until August 31st, 2020. So have fun.